Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Andrew, currently a final year computer science to AI student in University of Nottingham. And on this channel, we'll explore ways to improve our work, our life, and ourselves in general. I've just moved over to the UK for just over a month. And one of the hardest things here when I first moved here is that I don't have a schedule, so everything is quite messed up. That's why today I'd like to talk about how I designed my new weekly schedule for my new life in the UK. So I've been in the UK for just over a month. I spent the first 10 days in quarantine, and then I think it's just been a month in like a proper life in the UK. And after coming here, things are different. Like I definitely cannot use the weekly schedule that I had in Malaysia here because there's this few differences. First, now I actually have studies, so I have to allocate time for studies. Second, I'm actually taking up an individual dissertation for my final year, and that gave me a lot of flexibility. But still, I will need to allocate time for that because that's a whole year thing. It's quite essential for my degree, and it requires a lot of discipline, so I have to make sure that I commit into that. Third, in the UK, I actually have a new gym schedule. I'm hitting the gym like 4 days a week, so that takes up some time as well. I can't just work out whenever I want. And yeah, actually, back in Malaysia, I run early up in the morning. I wake up at 5 and I just went for a run or like work out, whatever. But here, I can't do that. First, it's very cold in the morning. It's just a bit stupid to run in the morning. And yeah, sometimes I have gym and the gym only opens at 6:30. So things are different and I have to adapt to all this new schedule. That's why I need to design a new schedule for my life in the UK. Alright, now let's look at this is my previous timetable. So this is the last week of August, which when I'm still in Malaysia, and this basically how my weekly schedule works. Don't see that there's too many things on it because most of them are actually just guidelines. So whenever you look at all these gray ones, these are just guidelines. It's not events actually. So I put there's morning nap. There's the time here is it's early 1 a.m. to 3 p.m. because it's following the Malaysia time zone, and then I didn't change it or anything. So back in Malaysia, I think morning nap was 8 or something. So that's how it works. And yeah, so all these gray blocks are what I designed as block guidance. So morning nap, there is actually no notification unless something like breakfast. I believe there is a 5-minute one. Lunch break, there's a 5-minute notification to tell me it's time for lunch or something. But other than that, it's just something for me to use as a guide because back when I'm in Malaysia, it's very flexible. I only have 2 things which I need to do. One, actually just 2 videos per week, and then podcast because at that stage I've already sold my company, so there's not much to do. And sometimes I do have classes for my student, tutoring classes, and basically that's it. So what I do is I follow this, those that are not gray are actual events which I'll be doing, and other than that, it's all guidance. So I know that, this 2-hour first working block, I should be working. Second working block, I should be working as well. Then there's third working block, and between second and third working block, there's a tea time, which I'll give a notification. So something as a guidance, because otherwise I won't, because I don't have anything to do, so I'll just be too free. So yeah, I can't fit it in. So I just put all this stuff so that I will use those moments in time to do stuff. But if I do have something important, like over here we have Alvin Bank visit, that's the time where I actually went to close my bank accounts. I can just put it there, and then those will be more important than whatever events that I had. Yeah, so this is actually how I design it. Now, heading on to a new calendar, because I've shown you how my previous weekly schedule worked. It's really empty, it's really flexible because I basically had nothing to do. But now, new things have popped up. I have a gym schedule. I have classes to attend. I have individual dissertation, and still at the same time, I need to work on my podcast and my YouTube channel. So there's quite a few stuff here. So now I will kind of show you how do I actually set my timetable, and I'll use a blank timetable from another account, and I'll be setting for Tuesday and Wednesday. First, when it comes to designing a timetable, the color which I showed just now is actually very important, but I won't talk about the meaning of all the colors for my previous schedule because those are different than what I have. But over here now, the first thing that we should always do is head over to my calendars, and then you can choose the color over here. So like there is a bunch of colors here. This will be the default color whenever you add an event onto your calendar. There is something that you have to note of. You need to avoid some colors. So if you right click on all these events here, okay, this I can't change. Okay, this because it's a holiday in Malaysia. So let me just set a dummy event first, and then dummy event. Is it over? So like dummy event, when you right click it, it shows you that that's 12 colors that's given by Google, like for all these events. The last one is always the default color, and then the second last one is graphite. I wouldn't use that too because that default is something to distinguish. So it's just like something where you put it there, and then after that you will decide whether you want to change the color or not. And then graphite will be something I use as a guideline. And then these are the 10 colors would be there's like specific meanings for all these colors. And when you're choosing the color for your default event, you need to make sure that you avoid all the 10 colors, including the graphite color, so you can choose anything else. I chose avocado. It's something special, so whenever you add the event, there won't be avocado here. Yeah, you won't see avocado here. So it will be something new. You know that is something that you haven't set, so it will mess up with whatever event that you have, and then whatever meaning that you have already set. And then context reminders. I do set that as some. Okay, I think I'll get into reminders in a while. But now let's start with the colors. So clicking into the dummy event. So over here, let's look at this. Okay, the one thing about the colors is that when you modify it from outside, it will be horizontal. And then when you modify it from inside, it will be vertical. But what I do is I remove the final tool because the calendar color is a default value. And then graphite is always used as a time guide. And then over here we have 10 colors. And I split from tomato to sage as one category. And then after that, basil to grape as another category. So for tomato to sage, this is the rating for the importance of a commitment with someone else. So if you talk about like meeting with someone else, going out for a lunch with someone else, or is it like a video call with someone else, these or all of this will be colored under tomato to sage. And then how I do is that sage is the least important because it's like a more neutral color, and then tomato is the most important one. So if we talk about deadlines or everything, I'll definitely put tomato. And for basil to grape, I always use these 5 colors to color my personal commitment, things that I want to do. And then same thing, I use grape as the most important one because it's striking. So it's a very, very important thing that I want to get it done. And then least important one would be basil. So like it's like, yeah, this is something I want to do, but it's not something that is very, very, very important for me. That's how I do it. Now that we have clarified the colors, let's get into setting the design. Okay, so let me just delete this event. So first thing first, we always do things that are fixed. So like commitment with others. So including for me, that includes classes, and then any meetings I have, any video calls I have. All these I will put it first because this is something that we've set with others, and we need to make sure that they are on the calendar first. And if they are repeating, we need to make sure that they are repeating as well. So now let me just start. Okay, so now, because I'm just doing it for Tuesday and Wednesday, otherwise it would take a lot of time. So actually these are all the events that I will be, it's like commitment with someone else because like it's lectures, you want to do it live and it's fixed. And then I have a family call, which is the time where I call back to call back to Malaysia and like have a chat with my family and all that. So all these are done and I put it here. And of course, it's important to note that if they are repeating, so that if you go on to like the following week, it will always be there. So, and if we talk about like events that just happened today, of course, when an event comes out, it's better to put it on a calendar, or every time at the end of the week, just have a time when you're doing the weekly review. I do have the weekly review time, like near the end of the day, I'll just like check if I have any events that I'm going to plot onto the calendar for the next week, and I'm just going to review it, see if I missed out anything. So now, first thing first, we have set all the things that we can't really change because it's like meetings that we have already booked with someone else. We put it there, and then we set like the color of importance. So for like all the lectures, I kind of put it 3 out of 5, so it's like in the middle, because I mean it is like a commitment to someone else, but then like worst comes to worst, if I have something up, I can choose not to attend it. And then like family call, I put it like a 4 out of 5 because it's quite important, but still if I have something up, I can still like schedule to change it. But actually there is something here, so okay, I'll just add this here. There's something special which I will put it a red because it's actually a deadline, and then it's like red, and then I will actually make this all day event. Yes, so I have a parcel which I have to decide whether I need to return tomorrow, and then that is something you can't change at all, and it's very, very important, and it's a commitment with someone else, like me, like with a company, and you can't change it. So therefore you put it as red because it's very, very important. So you have to make the decision. Definitely you have to attend that thing-ish. So that's how I do it for the first thing, commitment with others. Second thing now we want to do is we need to add on the stuff which we want to do. So like what are the personal commitments that you want to do? Alright, now I have added all the things which I want to do, I personally want to do, so it's not like related to anyone. So first up is actually early up in the morning. I have my morning routine where I wake up at 5, I meditate, read, and journal. And so I plot that in, so I know that during that period of time I'm busy. And after that, I go to the gym, and gym time is like an hour. I put it there as well. And then of course, things that requires to be repeated, I'll have it repeated so that it's like placed all over my calendar for like the rest few weeks, or like many weeks, until I decided to end it. After that, there's things like YouTube, like video editing, thumbnails and scheduling and all this, so I've placed it here. Then we have distance training, which is like my run training. Okay, for gym and this training, I put it like a 3 out of 5 because same as classes, I can kind of choose not to go if I don't want to. But for morning routine, I know that this is something I must do because I want to meditate, I want to read, and this has a multiplying effect over time, so I really want to do that. That's why I put it as like 5 out of 5. Video editing and individual dissertation tasks, I put it like 4 out of 5. It's quite important, but it's a bit flexible. Like morning routine, if I don't do it that time, I don't really have other time to do it. But for like video editing and individual dissertation tasks, I can do it like the next day or today or like the day before. It's okay, but morning routine, I just have to do it every single day. That's why I read that as like 5 out of 5, and then like others 4 out of 5. Gym time, distance training, they're less important. That's why I read that as like 3 out of 5. And then I have day review as well. Like day review, you have to do it today. That's why it's very important, and I made it 5 out of 5. So now we have 2 main things done. We have our commitment with others, and then our personal commitment done. Now the third thing is to actually put on our guides. And then after putting on our guides, we may need to edit a little bit, edit our time to fit, to make sure that it kind of fits with the guide. But this time around, I won't be putting working blocks and everything because I know that I'm busy, so I don't need those guides to tell me when it's time to work because I have a bunch of works already. And main thing that I will be putting will be like breakfast, lunch, dinner, and all that. So now let's get started. Alright, now we are done here with all the gray guidelines, which is like the time guidelines, and mainly here, unlike like my previous weekly schedule, there's only a few, mainly breakfast, lunch, and dinner, because I live in a catered hall, so I can't actually, I need to follow those, but I also set like a short time. So breakfast period, that's like by 7:30, lunch 1, and then dinner 5. And other than that, we also have Verene free time, so that free time with Verene where I can call her and then maybe co-work or like just chat or something. So yeah, I kind of have all these placed here. So these are all just guides, but it's still important because you need time to have breakfast, like lunch and dinner. I wouldn't recommend you to like eat while you work or something. So depending on what work you have, you may have to like adjust it a little. Like let's say for lunch it's actually not catered. They just gave us like a cash card where we can spend it anyway. So let's say if my family call is like here, okay, let's just do this event, and then maybe I can like push this lunch period further down, something like this. So this is like just an example of how you can like adjust your weekly schedule based on all this stuff. And over here, like you can see that Verene free time and video editing, thumbnail and scheduling is overlapping, but it's actually fine because I take that as a co-working session, so I can video call Verene while I am video editing or something, so that is fine. And down here we have like machine learning, self-learning, which like overlapping with dinner period, but it's fine as well because it's self-learning, so I can it's actually an online pre-recorded lecture. I can watch it anytime, so I can like watch from 4 to 5, and then like the leftover maybe I'll watch it after dinner period, or even like dinner period is like 5 to 7, so I can go like at 6 and then have my dinner during that time. So it's like, okay, so now looking at this is pretty much it. And at this stage you have the main thing sorted out. Now the thing that you need to make sure you have is you have sufficient rest time. So anything before 5 we don't really put that. That's like when I'm sleeping, and everything after 10 I supposed to be sleeping. So like this empty slots in the middle are where I can rest, like personally rest, because there's no guides, like, and there's no commitment with others, there's no commitment with myself, there is no things that like guides, like when there's like guides, there's something that I should be doing at that moment. So yeah, basically there's nothing. I basically need to choose which part is the time where I wanna do stuff. So but usually I don't really set. You can do that if you want, like maybe set 7 to 9:45 to be like a very important movie session, something like that. That's what you can do, but I just don't do that. It depends on people. So but yes, like the main thing is that if there's any repeating events, to make sure that you put it on repeat as well, so that it will save time on creating your schedule. You don't need to do it every single week. Now if I go to the next week, you can see that it's pretty much the same. Okay, I forgot about distance training. Distance training is like 1 hour as well. Why did I put it 1:30? That's weird. Okay, weekly on Wednesday. So yeah, if I go here, dun, it's like pretty much like just copied, something like that. Yeah, that's the cool thing about Google Calendar, why it is so useful. Okay, now we are looking at my new timetable. My new timetable here. Yes, so this is like my new weekly schedule, which I've set for my new life in UK. It actually took me quite some time. It took me, it's not an easy thing. You can start designing it, but then it doesn't necessarily have to be the final one, because you can keep adjusting, you can try to adapt to it. If it doesn't work, you can tweak it a little. So after a month, now I'm sure that this is kind of confirmed. It's kind of confirmed. So, and then I have other stuff which I stack onto it as well. Like the main one is the one which I've set, and then there is like reminders, like example down here, charge my watch. I need to remind myself to charge my new smartwatch every 8:30. So when I'm about to sleep, I can wear it to sleep, and it will track my sleeping pattern and all that. And I have purposely changed the reminder color to purple. Purple. It's grape. Okay, the color is grape. I hate the name. Yeah, it's grape. So it's a very important thing that I need to do. So that it's just a very important thing I need to do. And then there is like sports booking, which is when I actually book like sports facility in my actually at the sports village. So there's like Friday there's actually casual bouldering, and then on Sunday there's like lane swim. You can see that it actually overlaps with my breakfast, and then I can easily like just pull it down. So I'll have breakfast at 9, just this event. I will have lunch at 1:30. So just this event, it's fine when even if it overlaps with Verene free time, because I can have lunch and then chat with Verene and all that. So this is what I'm required to do like every single week. But other than that, yes, this is it. So that's why I'm saying that I am a lot busier, a lot busier now, because you can see that every single day, pretty much, every single day, after breakfast, it's like pretty much full. I have like video filming on Monday, which is today, and then we have like Wednesday, we have editing. Thursday, I have working on individual dissertation and like meeting. Tuesday and Friday I have classes. Saturday I have podcast recording. But then after that, this Saturday in particular, I actually have a run. You have a race, and then Sunday I usually go for sports, and then like there's like long distance running. But I think this week I probably won't go for long distance running because I just went for a race. So that's what I'll be doing. Then lane swim, breakfast, and then brunch. All that. And after lunch, today I have coursework meeting, and then it's like quite free. I mean, very free time, then coursework meeting, and then quite free for some time. There's like running in the end. Tuesday, classes. Wednesday, working on individual dissertation. And I actually took out lunch because I'm running and I don't want to have lunch or anything. I usually have lunch. I mean like a small snack after my distance training. Thursday, classes. Friday is like usually my free time, but recently there's a lot of assignments, so I decided to just have like some bouldering session, and then I'll be working on those assignments. Saturday, usually it would be actually podcast editing. Actually, wait, give me a second. This one is a purple because it's just me editing it. Podcast meeting and recording requires me and Verene. That's why I set it as a commitment with someone else, but podcast editing is just me myself, so I set it as my own personal commitment. And then on Sunday, I have a accountability buddy from Part-Time YouTuber Academy, and now we have set the time on Sunday where we will be working together to make sure that we produce some work every single week. Then there's like video original like with video scripting. So that is my time, and then I try to keep my time after dinner free. So you can see that only on Wednesday I have individual dissertation tasks, and then like there's a Part-Time YouTuber Academy house party. Other than that, Monday there's some training, like all the way to Sunday there's like nothing. I mean, recently I've been like doing work on those days as well, but then like it should be clean where I can like watch videos or whatever I want, just like any entertainment stuff, or even find friends if I want to. As long as I get most of my to-do list done, then that will happen. So yes, this is like how I design my weekly schedule for my new life in the UK. Alright, so basically that is my calendar schedule and how I actually design my weekly schedule, not calendar schedule. One app I always recommend for everyone is Calendly, because when you want to have meeting with someone or like schedule a video call or even a meetup with someone, we don't want to like go through like multiple conversations just to like settle on a time. So if you use Calendly, you can just send a link to someone else, and then they can actually see, they were able to choose like which day they want, and they'll be able to see when are you actually free, and then they'll just like book a slot, and then you'll be able to see it on your calendar. So it's like a lot simpler for you, even though like somebody might think that, oh my god, you're why are you so arrogant, like, oh, you're such a busy man or something. I mean, if they're friends or something, like just have a nice message telling them that you're busy, that's why you're doing this. And I find it a really useful thing, and it's been something which I've just touched on after I got into Part-Time YouTuber Academy. So even though it's like a weekly schedule, it's still not a fixed thing. It's just a highly recommendation. Like it's kind of the ideal weekly schedule that you want. Most of the time, I would say like maybe 80% of the time you fit into that. 20% of the time you may not. So just be careful with that. So it's okay to just like, when time just like doesn't, like you're not following it, it's okay, but make sure that have some discipline and try to fit with it. And if you really can't fit it too well, that means that you'd have to actually change your weekly schedule. For me, I think I can follow it like up to 80%, so it's quite efficient for me. The 20% might be like procrastination, or sometimes like spontaneous stuff just comes up. That's why I couldn't like fit onto it. And other than that, the color is actually, I find it to be an important thing, because it allows you to see the importance of that thing. So how important you should do that. If it's like something, of course it takes some time for you to remember like the importance and the color, the relation between them. But once you kind of get used to it, you easily see that, oh, this is an important thing, I should do it, I must do it, or something. That's how it helps me. With this weekly schedule, like what I said just now, we shouldn't just blindly follow it, because we still need to balance between flexibility and following it. So it's like a guide, it's like a direction for you to follow, and then the importance also helps us. Also, with all these things, you know that for sure you can complete all the tasks you want to do. And then when you have something spontaneous come up, you can compare the importance of two events and then see what you want to do. So it's like a very useful guide for you to see, for you to visualize your time and all that. That's why I find that it's quite important to design this weekly schedule, and I hope that it actually helps all of you. That's it for this video. Thanks everyone for watching. If you enjoyed this video, do like, share and subscribe. And maybe consider checking out my podcast channel, which is called Thoughts, and it's created by me and my girlfriend Verene, where we actually share incongruous thoughts in our daily life. Or you can actually check out the random video suggested by YouTube here. I think it's here, because yeah, and if you're interested, just have a look at that. And other than that, thanks everyone for watching, and hope to see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.